Hi everyone, this is Maureen, and today I'm going live to share a little bit about how to charge more for your cakes. That's my video for today. And if this is you, if you're a home baker and you want to set your cake prices higher this year, but you're not exactly how to do it without having people complain that they can't pay more for your cakes or anything like that, or just having a struggle getting people to actually buy from you. So I'm going to share 3 ways you can do that in this video. Okay, my name is Maureen Bilhakamari. This is the Baking for Profit podcast. I own 3 brands: Baking with Amari, Chiffon Cakes by Amari, and I offer baking advice using the Baking for Profit brand. And in this channel, I help small scale bakers gain clarity, stay motivated, and build awareness for your small baking business. Okay. So in today's video, I'll be sharing 3 ways to increase prices, especially if you're a home baker, but some of this could actually work for anybody who owns a small bakery shop. And especially in number 3, this is exactly how I did it and how it works for my brand. So you want to stick around so you can see exactly how I've done that. So, the first method of increasing your cake prices is having a product that nobody else has. This means that you have a product that nobody in your area, specifically maybe in a specific country or county or region, doesn't have, right? But realize for this to work, you have to have a high demand for the product, whatever it is. Realize this has to be time sensitive, because if you start selling something that nobody has over time, people are going to copy you. So realize you have to make money really quickly. And it is also highly unlikely, especially in the baking industry. But I always tell people it's not impossible. It can be maybe a cake decorating technique that has just come out that nobody else is doing in that area. You can make a lot of money by increasing price for that period until maybe somebody else starts doing it or gets the same equipment, or maybe gets the technique that you have. So that's one way of actually increasing prices, by having something that nobody else has in that industry, just you. You're the only person who has or is selling that particular thing. And just a reminder, we're on TikTok and Instagram. Make sure to follow Baking for Profit on TikTok and Baking for Profit program on Instagram. Now, the second method is by being highly skilled in cake decorating with advanced skills that most bakers don't have. So you have to realize, generally in an industry, especially now when you look at how saturated the industry is, majority of the bakers who are selling in the industry are at a basic level. They're just doing basic cakes with basic cake decoration, right? It's not like custom work or highly, you know, specialized work. So if you want to increase your prices, you may have to get a higher skill to set you apart from the majority, right? So what this does is that when you have a higher skill, maybe you're decorating 3D cakes with fondant or other mediums, or you're doing luxury wedding cakes, you're doing advanced sugarcraft or advanced basically sugarcraft, like fondant figurines or just flowers. What you do is you attract a specific kind of clientele that's looking for high quality, and majority of them are willing to pay for the high quality, or at least they realize that it is more high quality work than the basic work, so they're more willing to pay higher for those prices, right? So you can attract that type of clientele, but remember, you still have to market yourself. You have to let people know that you're doing it. So make sure you let people know that you have higher quality cakes, and you can actually be able to charge higher. People also realize that a higher quality cake or skill means that it's time consuming, right? For you to do a 3D cake, it's going to be more time consuming, and it also needs experience. So I would suggest, showcasing your work so that people can see you've actually done this kind of thing. And then by doing that, you'll be able to actually charge higher, because it is a higher valuable skill. So if you want to use this method, number 2 method of increasing sales, what you should do is you should invest in classes, right? If you can, the best option is to do personal, like in-person practical classes, where you actually go to a class and you sign up for, whether it's like a 5-day wedding cake class or like a stacking class or specific type of thing, like maybe doing sugarcraft classes. You can sign up for that and then practice, right? Because that's important. You can't just learn and sit on that. You gotta practice. Or if you're not able to do in person, you can actually do an online class where you learn and you practice. Like we have a 90-day wedding cake and ganache, like wedding cake fondant and ganache decoration class. It's like $2,500, $25 for non-Kenyan payments. If you sign up for that, we've had people actually practice and increase their stacking levels. We talk about wedding cakes in that class. So if you want to learn, you can do either, and sometimes we also periodically have the wedding cake classes in person. So you can just learn, practice, and then I would suggest whatever it is you've learned and practiced, do a demo or do a dummy and take photos. If you can, take some videos of you in the process, and then you're able to show people that I can actually do 3D custom cakes, I can actually do luxury wedding cakes. And if you charge them higher because they can see you have this skill, which is highly valuable, they will be more willing to pay you more, right? So that's the second way that you can do that. If you're getting value from this video, remember to make sure to like this video, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Okay, so my last point is highly effective in the long run. Please note, I like telling this to people, this is not a get rich quick scheme, right? Number two, like I just mentioned, needs time and it needs investment, right? So this is not going to happen overnight. But if you put in the work and you put in the money, you can actually increase your prices. Number three also is the same. You need time and you need money. But I believe it is the most effective, right? It is the most effective way of increasing your cake prices over time. And it should definitely be the focus of your year, whether you're starting now or especially for those already in business. And you can combine number two and number three, by the way, to help you out. So, what is the third way to increase prices? By building a unique brand that sets you apart from other bakers and creates loyalty, right? So, you want to brand well and you want customer loyalty. And again, this can work for a home baker that's looking to start now. You can just start with the thought of creating this type of brand. But it especially is going to work for somebody who's already been baking. So you are known for baking, but now you want to create a certain brand that is going to be known for a certain thing, and then people will be more willing to pay you because you've skin in the game, you've been doing this for a while, and so they can see the value, right? So even a bakery shop, by the way, can do this. Any business can do this, to be honest. Most successful brands, whether they started small or big, have done this effectively and been able to do this. So before I explain how you can do this, I just want to mention to you guys something. If you're watching this, this is for anybody who's watching this before February 8th, right? So in February, from 8th to 10th, we do have a 3-day business workshop that's going to be in Nairobi CBD. So this is for the Kenyan bakers or the Nairobi bakers. This is going to be a workshop where I share all things branding, marketing, and sales, right? Market your food business online and start making sales. So I'll be showing you how to define your business brand, creating a marketing plan and a sales plan to actually sell consistently. And so if you are into this, if you want to really double down in 2023 on your branding and your marketing, this could be something you consider. I'm going to link details below. However, if you are not in Nairobi and you still want to sign up for class, we do have a 90-day online class that is social media marketing for bakers. And this covers similar content, right? You learn how to create a marketing strategy and a plan. You identify your niche and your target market, how to actually run ads, basically everything I'll be covering in the 3-day workshop, but it's online and you have 90-day access to the pre-recorded videos. So again, the link is going to be in the description. If you're interested in that, I would highly, highly, highly recommend it if you want to get serious on digital marketing and especially branding. Okay, so what does this number 3 help you with, right? How have I used this effectively? So this method of increasing price takes time, I've mentioned, but time can be like 3 to 6 months or like 12 months, which yes, seems like a lot, but over time really isn't. So it's better to just get started. So you need to identify and give your brand character, right? You want to create a brand that people start relating to or being attached to. And then because of that, they start buying from you. We all have those brands that we buy stuff from, and we buy only from that brand. And that's because we have an emotional connection. And if you want to keep increasing sales and like increasing your price without having people complain too much, this is a very effective way of doing this as a baker, right? So the first thing you want to do is you want to identify and give your brand a character. This can be voice, like the way you speak. It can be character. Are you fun and bubbly? Are you very serious? What are you? Do you like sharing information? What type of character are you, right? And this doesn't even have to be a person, even though it's really effective when it is a person. You can choose to do this even through your videos, through captions. There's people who've built a brand without us seeing a face, right? We've also seen brands build businesses by showcasing their customers, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be your face, but it does help having a face behind the brand, right? Also, branding is a very sort of overall part. It also includes colors, the colors you're using, so that I can tell, like when I see your content, this is so and so's brand. Also, a logo really helps. And then, sort of, you want a certain feeling, right? You want to give your brand a character and feeling that you want people to pick up from that, right? And then the second thing you want to do, once you have identified what kind of brand do I want to put out there, you want to work hard to build a brand and establish credibility. You see, the reason why most people go back to buying something from someone is that because of KLT, people know, like, and trust your brand. And so the only way to do this is to keep showing up online or showing up in other ways for your audience or your target market, right? If you look at different brands that keep doing this, not only, like, if we look at big brands, what do we see them doing? They have ads on TV, but most importantly, they have ads online. They're posting consistently on social media. Sometimes they have pop-up events, or they have a certain location they have that they keep doing some type of event or something. So you want to keep doing that yourself. And you can do that as a baker. First, you can actually show up on social media. You can pick 3 to 5, I would suggest 5 platforms, and make sure you're just showing up on them every week. If you can show up on pop-up events. I've shared this in another video, how you can grow your brand by just going to pop-up events so that people can start seeing your brand out there. Even if you do not have a store, brick and mortar store, you can actually show up at events or do cake tasting events, and people get to know your business. And you can even show up in popular networks like TikTok. You can show up yourself, or you can even feature some of your customer feedback or your customers. And this will just kind of get people to know about your brand, right? The third way you want to do this is to create a marketing strategy and a plan, right? This is what's actually going to help you spread awareness. You may create your brand. If you sit there and do nothing with this, it's not going to help you. So what you need to do is you create a marketing strategy and a plan. And this is what will actually help spread awareness and get people to know about your cake business. What do you do? What type of customers are you looking for? Showcasing exactly what you're doing as a baker, right? And then from there on, if you are marketing correctly, right, you have a good strategy, you have a good plan, you should start attracting your target market, right? So if I am a luxury wedding cake brand, I'm going to post things that are going to attract people who are looking for custom cakes, people who are looking for luxury wedding cakes, that kind of thing, right? So by having a good marketing strategy and plan, you attract the right followers. And so over time, you want to have a sales strategy that's going to actually get those followers to become customers, right? So this is a part most people forget. So number 4, have sales strategies that take your audience or your target market or your leads to an actual customer to actually buy from you, right? So you need to get people to make orders, to make inquiries, to do cake samples, like order cake samples for your thing, or book cake tastings for your cakes, right? You want people to actually go from followers to actually buying from you. So this is one of those very important things. And again, this is something I'm going to cover in depth in the workshop, where I'm going to be taking you from creating your own brand, then coming up with a strategy, then a plan, and then how to actually sell to your audience, right? And again, you can sign up to the 3-day Nairobi Business Workshop, or you can sign up for the online class, right? So why do I insist on number 3, right? Because if you effectively brand your business, number 1, what it should do is reflect over time, right? If you're doing it correctly, if I wanted a certain type of brand, and then I market and I push content and I do stuff, and I'm trying to make sure I stay in line with my brand, once you start talking to people who know about your brand, they should reflect the thing you're trying to put out there. So branding is an interesting thing. It's not just posting stuff, it's not just selling. It is creating this character, this thing, this entity. And over time, if you're doing the right thing, people should tell you the same. They should echo back or have a feeling that you want them to feel. So I like giving people an example, and the only example I can ever give is my own example. And so my main brand, the Amari brand, which is formerly Amari Baking Center, now it's Baking with Amari. We generally offer learning experiences, right? We teach people how to bake, we offer recipe books, and we're doing this with proper techniques, and we also share tried and tested recipes. So we want to be known for that, right? Teaching people the right way and having tried and tested recipes. And so there's a time I made a post on Instagram just to kind of pick up the general feeling of what people think of our brand. And as you can see, and you can actually go look for this post, I think it was last year, early last year, where we ask people the first word that pops into your head when you think of Amari is, and you'll just see I've highlighted some of them. I don't want to show you guys all of them, but I've highlighted some of them. Like this one says real recipes, right? So that's a good thing. This is recipes done the right way. And then we have here where somebody has written teaching, here recipes, again, find it, learning. This is somebody who's written learning. Recipes again pops up. Cake, of course, that pops up because we do baking things. Learning, right, and success. Costing and pricing, which is great because we also do that a lot. Teaching, recipes. So if you find this post and you scroll through it, you'll see basically our brand reflected back to us, which is what you want over time. Now, again, this is not something that happens overnight. This is something you want to build slowly over time. But if you do it correctly and you're doing the right thing and you're being consistent, you should attract the right people and they should get the general feeling of your brand based on the content that you're putting out. This not only works for a brand like ours that teaches people how to bake, it also works for cake. You can think of 2 or 3 cake brands that are so different and they don't give you the same feeling, right? Some are cheaper cakes and some are luxury cakes, and they give you a different type of feeling and they have a different type of character. And you want to do that for your business because that emotional connection is what sticks more. And when you have a baking business, and you want consistent sales, the one thing that's going to bring you success is having people coming back over and over. And if you're just like everybody else, people will not keep coming back. If you're just sharing the same basic cakes, and you can still be doing basic cakes and people buy from you more. Why? Because you have a brand. You don't have to do number two. You don't have to get the high skill. You can actually still have high quality or just medium quality cakes, but keep having people coming back because you've built such a good brand or a strong brand that people will keep coming back no matter what, right? So we really want to consider that for the year. Please do leave a comment below on which method you will be using. Will you be using one? Do you have a really special thing nobody has? Number two, are you looking to increase your skills so that you can charge more and market well? Or number three, are you going to be building a brand that's going to be so strong that people just have to keep buying from you, regardless of what price is? Even if your price go higher, people will see the reason why, right? So please comment below what method you're going to be using or what method you're using right now. And mention if this has been helpful to you. I do like to know if these videos are helpful to you as a baker, especially if you're doing business. So make sure to like and subscribe. All the best. Watch the next video, right? That's going to be about how to market your cake business and how I did this and increase sales in my business. It's going to be really helpful. Make sure to watch it. I will see you guys next time.